Well, reflecting on last night's unbelievable 4-1 win at Everton, it was some night, I have to be totally honest, from start to finish. Getting to Merseyside early, you could feel the anticipation and the desperation on the streets around Goodison, and yeah, trying to even weave into the sort of press room was more or less impossible. Everton fans waiting to greet the team, as you've seen at the start of this video. And yeah, for me, the atmosphere, first and foremost, the atmosphere Everton fans served up was special. And, you know, they really love their team there. And I think I look at Everton Football Club and probably a little bit of sadness, because I think that the fans are similar to Newcastle in terms of the working class element of the city. They earn the money to watch the team, and, you know, above them, decisions haven't been good. I think even the owners know that, and it just it doesn't sit well with me when that happens. It happened to Newcastle for many years. Whether people had sympathy for Newcastle fans, I don't know, but you know, Everton are in a very difficult situation, and they're going to find it hard to escape this season. So personally, I hope they don't go down. I think it's one of the better away trips down the years going to Everton. It's one of the places where you are, you know, football aside, I think if you went for a drink around the ground in the build-up of the game, I think there's places where you can go and have a chat with rival fans. I don't think you get that everywhere, but that's just my own personal view on it. I do hope they stay up, and Newcastle fans are soon going to be going to a new Everton stadium. All rivalries aside, of course. The game itself, Everton actually started well. That atmosphere really gave them an opportunity, gave them a platform. But they were just so poor in the final third. Even the openings they created just weren't good enough, and Newcastle were left in the game. The door was ajar, but Newcastle showed what they've been doing all season, making the most of opportunities going forward. Target moves the ball down the left, Joelinton hammers in a shot, and Wilson's there to apply the finish. And Newcastle went in at the break 1-0 up. Probably a little bit fortunate. There was a VAR goal disallowed as well, if you remember, from Calvert-Lewin. That could have probably gone either way, if we're being honest. That didn't look like a crucial decision to me in terms of the line. It was very faint. But look, Newcastle, you know, went in 1-0 up. You make your own luck in this game. And then second half, obviously Eddie Howe's got into them, and they've responded in the second half. And the second half performance was, you know, Sunday was good against Spurs, don't get me wrong. West Ham was good, the finishing, and Brentford was a clinical win as well. But this was something special in terms of the goals that were scored, the manner they were scored. We're all going to be talking about Isak's run down the left. I heard a lot of people after the game saying it was like a PlayStation or Xbox goal, and if you look back at that, I'm more shocked that he didn't get an assist for it. For some reason, Fantasy Football League rules don't allow that, so I was quite shocked by that. But look, an amazing contribution to a goal where it was almost Newcastle players queuing up to score. But before that, we'd seen Wilson's stunner and Joelinton getting a header. He's now on 8 goals. There's so many players in a rich vein of form going in the last 6 games. So it's looking good. Newcastle in third place. They're still not there yet. You can't get too carried away with that at the moment. But for me, I think, you know, beat Southampton, you know, points in that Liverpool-Tottenham game are going to fall by the wayside one way or the other. I said yesterday when I was standing in Stanley Park in the shadow of Anfield that Liverpool probably are the remaining threat to this. But I do think Newcastle will finish in the Champions League now. I looked at the bookmakers' assessment of it this morning. It was 93%. They're not usually wrong. But even the most pessimistic Newcastle fan will feel that they've at least got one foot in the Champions League. So, all positive. Compared to previous seasons gone by, we're normally talking about just about staying up. At this stage of the year, April's normally a very tense time in another way, but this is pretty amazing to be part of. Just watching it, it's fantastic. It's some of the best football and performances that I've witnessed as a Newcastle fan, and hopefully they can continue it. Southampton's a big game on Sunday, another test of the complacency factor. I don't think we'll be complacent. I do think it's going to be a tough afternoon for Southampton. I do wonder what the scoreline might be if Newcastle get off to another good start. They're in the mood, and the fans are in the mood as well. So it's all looking good. Newcastle fans will feel they are going to be in the Champions League next season, dusting down the passports. I spoke to a few fans last night who were saying they're going to renew the passports. Looking forward to seeing Newcastle in European competition for the first time in over 10 years. Even the pre-season friendlies, Newcastle fans travel in great numbers when they go abroad, and they all credit the club. So that's going to be good to see again. But without doubt, that game against Everton last night, another special occasion, another memorable one, and plenty to enjoy.